Hey everyone, if you're targeting the ANS-C01 certification, you already know it's an absolute beast. It's for sure one of the toughest out there. So today, I'm stepping in as your IT mentor for a rapid-fire sneak peek into the AWS Advanced Networking landscape. We're going to break down the ultimate blueprint for mastering these complex concepts. Let's get right into it. Right off the bat, the dedication of this guide sets the exact tone we need. Those who choose curiosity over comfort and growth over fear, I absolutely love that. And look, let me give you a little tough love here as your mentor. Mastering this cert, it's a steep climb. It's going to demand late nights and serious focus, but man, is it a rewarding journey. It's the bridge from being a standard IT pro to a highly sought-after cloud architect. So here's a question for you. Why do so many smart engineers fail the ANS-C01, even after reading all the AWS documentation? Well, it boils down to a massive knowledge gap. There is a huge difference between just reading theoretical AWS docs and truly understanding practical, scenario-driven engineering. The exam doesn't just care if you know what a service is, it wants to know if you can actually build a production-grade architecture with it. To bridge that exact gap, we've designed a targeted syllabus for success. We're covering building your AWS foundation, architecting the core network, mastering hybrid connectivity, security and automation, and finally, acing the certification exam. Kicking things off with Section 1, Building Your AWS Foundation. This focuses on IP subnetting, routing, and OSI models. Because you simply cannot build a secure cloud on a weak foundation, right? So we follow a really structured path here. Step 1, you master the fundamentals, like CIDR notation and routing tables in Chapter 1. Step 2, you scale up to architecting advanced VPCs in Chapter 6. And Step 3, you conquer those mock tests in Chapter 17. It walks you step by step from basic subnetting straight to exam day readiness. Next up is Section 2, Architecting the Core Network, covering VPCs, ELBs, and high availability. This is where we build the actual walls of your environment, and you've got to master some tough architectural decisions. For instance, vertical scaling, which is scaling up or down by changing instance sizes, versus horizontal scaling, which means scaling out or in by adding or removing instances. The exam is going to test this relentlessly. You need to know exactly when a workload requires you to scale up versus when it demands you scale out using auto-scaling groups. Moving right along to Section 3, Mastering Hybrid Connectivity. Bridging your on-premises setups to AWS using heavy-duty infrastructure like Direct Connect and VPNs. Now, this is all about surviving production. We match real-world case studies directly to the AWS services that actually solve them. Got a low-latency gaming platform? Boom, you need a network load balancer. Delivering secure video streaming? That's going to be CloudFront integrated with S3. Running a global e-commerce site? You'll absolutely be relying on Route 53 for DNS traffic management. This is exactly the mindset you need for the exam. Which brings us to Section 4, Security and Automation. Think high-tech defense and infrastructure as code. Because automating your security with things like WAF, Shield, and CloudFormation is no longer optional, folks. And that actually brings us to the source material powering this entire explainer journey. This guide is your ultimate blueprint. It takes these massive, frankly intimidating concepts and distills them into clear, actionable labs. It literally takes you from wondering what a transit gateway is to fully automating its deployment. And finally, Section 5. Acing the certification exam with mock tests and exam strategy. Time to slay the exam dragon. Let's close out with some rapid-fire mentor advice. You absolutely must learn to identify key terms in the prompts. Analyze those scenario-based questions to find the optimal solution, not just the one that technically functions. Practice with the scenarios in Chapter 16 and rigorously test yourself under timed conditions using the mock tests in Chapter 17. These are the golden nuggets that'll get you across the finish line. So that leaves us with one final question to think about. Are you ready to transition from just understanding concepts to actual engineering reality? Because the cloud isn't waiting for anyone to catch up. It is time to choose growth over fear. Thanks for joining me on this rapid-fire explainer. Now go dive into those materials and start building.